Hello everyone, this is Patrick. Today is the 9th of September 2011 and I've been studying Korean at a Korean language school at Kyungpook National University here in Daegu for 5 days. So I've just finished my first week and this is what the video will be about. This will be a video about my first week at this school. So first of all, before I got there, before my first day, I didn't really know what to expect. I haven't been given much information about the course. All I knew that it was going to be around 14, 15, maybe 16 students in one class, and that half of them will be Chinese and the other half something else. But I didn't really know if they come from Europe, US. Naturally, my first question was, is there anybody else from Europe? Is there any other Czech people? Probably not. Is there any Americans, or will there be any Canadians? So, first day, I realized that there are some Europeans and there are some Caucasians and Canadians, maybe Australians, because I saw them in the hallway, and I got talking to one guy who's a teacher from Canada, who's been living here for some time now. So there definitely are people like that, but none of them in my class. Well, actually, there are two. There's one guy from Canada, who's an English teacher, I guess, and a woman from the US. So those two and myself are the only Westerners in the class. There's 14 of us there, and 7, which is 50% exactly, are from China. Or maybe 6 from China and 1 girl from Taiwan. There's a guy from Bangladesh who's a postgraduate student at the university, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. 3 girls from Japan, I forgot. So that's my classmates. The level, it's pretty basic, but the pace, I think a lot of people were quite surprised by how fast the whole thing goes, because I guess I had the advantage of having studied Korean on my own with a teacher for some time, so I could already read the alphabet, although I didn't know all the exceptions, and I had some vocab, not extensive, but a lot of the vocab that's in the book that I showed you in the previous video, and the integrated Korean, is focused on university campus, and it's the type of thing that you would talk about with other students, which comes really handy when you're in that classroom environment. So I did have some idea of what was going on, and I guess I still have a little bit of an advantage over some other people there, because I've already done some of the topics that are covered in the book. What we're using is Munjin Media Hangugo Il, I guess. This book right here. I'll guess I'll make another video about the textbooks. For now, I'll just flick through it like this. There's not much English in it. It's mostly Korean. We have 2 teachers. There's 4 hours of classes every day, and they switch after 2 hours. So the first one doesn't speak English at all, or maybe she does, but doesn't speak English to us. And the other one speaks a little bit, which is quite good, because after you learn something and you're not sure about some of it, the second teacher comes in and explains it, and you get to ask questions and that sort of thing. So they do understand English, which is quite good. Anyway, they don't use it much. There's this textbook that I just showed you, then there's a practice book, a lot of listening exercises and that type of thing. Yeah, as you see, mostly Korean, really no English there at all. I see in the practice book there's not even descriptions. There are a few descriptions in the student book, but not very many. And then we also have a reader. I think they they prepared this for us at the university here, but I don't know, maybe it's a part of that. Nope, it actually is it's a compilation of materials that our teachers gathered here in Daegu, so that's all quite good. The pace is surprisingly fast, and I think a lot of Westerners, or I mean the people in my class, I think a lot of us didn't really expect that it would go so fast. We've been studying Korean for 5 days, and we've just like covered pretty much all I've managed to cover on my own in the last 8 months, and we also get a lot of homework. So we do 4 hours in the classroom, and then I've been doing probably about 2.5 hours on average every day, preparing myself for the test the next day, which we have in the morning, first thing in the morning. So we get a dictation, and we have to write things down. I don't know what other students do. I just memorize the words because I find it the easiest and most effective way of remembering how to spell things and also the meaning. So that's something I do. I wanted to make this video in Czech originally, but I didn't have a chance to do that because I guess I could make the video, but I wouldn't have the time to add subtitles to it, and that therefore I decided against that idea. Maybe next time, hopefully, I guess. The reason I won't have any time to do editing is because we're going to Seoul for a holiday that's coming up, for a Korean holiday called Chuseok, and so we get two days off school next week, and that reminds me of a gift that I got today. I don't think that everybody got it, but because there's a scholarship and they try to make students compete with each other, I think 40%, best 40% get a scholarship every month, and I think some of us today got this gift. I guess it's traditional sweets for Chuseok that's coming up. There. That's what it looks like. Hope you can see it. Yeah. So some of us got that today. It's a very pleasant surprise. And I'll try to keep up my average. Like I said, I studied pretty hard. I have the advantage over some other people that I don't really have to take any other classes because I'm not an exchange student and I'm not a postgraduate researcher either. So I do have the time to devote to Korean, and I find myself surprisingly motivated. I think it's because I'm in that environment where it's not just about learning, it's also about being able to communicate right away. So it happens that you walk out of the classroom and then you get to use the words that you've just learned right away, and I find it amazingly helpful. Also, it feels like your communication skills are, every day are just like multiplying by so much. It's like your knowledge is expanding at a really, really fast pace. Anyway, I talked a little bit about my classmates. I talked about the books. I'll make a separate video about the books. I think after I've been studying with them for some time, I'll know a lot more. But we do a lot of listening. We do a lot of what I love about the class is everybody talks all the time, and then because there's so many different nationalities represented in the class, we don't really have a choice but to speak Korean because not everybody speaks English, and sometimes it's a mixture of the two, and that's what I find quite interesting because I've never been in that situation. For example, today I walked out of the classroom and few of my classmates joined me on this. We went to a coffee shop and talked a little bit, and then I found myself in the situation where I had to speak Korean because I was with 3 Japanese girls, and 2 of them were level 2 and I'm level 1, so their Korean was obviously quite good compared to mine. But one of the girls spoke some English, so using English to explain what I wanted to say, I could kind of understand what they were saying, and I could learn and pick up words that they were using really fast. And I find that extremely useful, because if you talk to native speakers, they don't really know how much you know, whereas the other foreigners have been through, they know what your limits are, because they go to their class and they're taught by the same teachers, so they kind of know what the, you know, what the syllabus is or whatever. So I picked up a lot of useful words from those Japanese girls today, and I was amazed that after 5 days I could already have a very basic conversation. Like, it just felt like a major victory. I think I'm really getting to grips, you know, grips with it, coming to terms with it. So I'm running out of time, I guess. I should wrap it up. That's the school. I talked about the scholarship. I talked about some of the problems that we face. That's like getting a lot of homework and not being able to study because you've got other things going on, like drinking and drinking soju and going out with your friends. But haven't done much of that, unfortunately, quite yet. But I think somebody came up with the idea that every Friday we should meet and have a little get together with all the classmates. That way we can all practice what we've learned, and I think that's a brilliant idea. So hopefully that will work out. I think I'm running out of time, so this is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please post them under this video. I hope you're all doing great, and big thank you to everyone who subscribed. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Take care.